Alrighty, it's time to market Maison Zola. And so for first campaigns, it's time to rumble. And I'm going to walk you through the full process, start to finish, show you the metrics, what's going on behind the scenes so you can kind of see what is going on. So first things first, I did a full scraping basically on top of, all the competitors. What are they doing? What are the channels? And, the two top channels that came out, one was Pinterest and the other one was Meta ads. And I figured, okay, figured out why don't we dive into the first channel coming in, and we're going to build the process around it so we can, scale up without actually spending too much time on it. So I figured for Pinterest, there's something I did in the past as well is we have these three, the oil, sovereign, the atelier. I mean, we're adding more styles as we go, but these are the three styles we have. And we basically very good at generating these images of dogs, pets, whatever that you kind of see. So what I've done so far is I've created a full automation that will go out and, create all different breeds and basically post them on Pinterest. So you can kind of see we created a Maison Zola over here about a week ago, somewhere around that. And on a daily basis, these dogs are basically super generated in our Pinterest accounts. And this is without me touching it. So I think we have like 70 breeds that we're now, have in our database. And we're mixing those in order to say, okay, I want to have the oil painting of this breed and this specific dog. And so we're actually not just drawing and creating inspiration on how an oil painting or, the other ones are also here. So you kind of see the King Julius over here, creating all these examples of, how the dog images could be so that you can order them at home, basically. And so this is fully generated at scale. This passes through Runflow. So it takes one of these examples and then it passes to Runflow and says, hey, I want to have this consistent at scale in that sense. And that's what it's generating right now. So far, we've got about 11,000 organic views on a monthly basis. I don't think we have a lot of clicks yet, so I can check that later on. I think even you have some tracking over here, analytics overview. So let's see what's happening. So I think we start posting around, the 25th of May. And so far we have, 5K impressions per day. That gives you a little bit an idea what's happening. And this is fully on an organic base. So we have 118 outbound clicks, 2 saves, 138 engagements. So that is all happening without me actually having to do anything in that sense. Seems like the best one is the golden retriever. Seems like that is the ideal status. Now, these are mixed with paid campaigns. So you will see here organic, paid, and earned. So there's a mix of these two. So we're also running some campaigns. So there's actually one ads group. There's 4 campaigns up and running. And you'll kind of see what is being launched right now. So you can kind of see that I'm taking a dog, one of the example dogs that you can actually target bulldogs, English bulldogs, people searching for those. So that is basically what we're running. I can actually maybe showcase you one and how it looks like. You'll see, for example, here, Maison Zola, I'm also testing with some example. So this one is basically generated and how you actually get it at home. And so you'll be able to basically see how Maison Zola would actually fit in your interior in that sense. So far, actually, this one is the most expensive one. This is only 2 clicks, but the other one is 10 clicks. And it's getting, it was a little expensive as well. So far, we've had around 120 clicks or 121 clicks going out for around 80 cents in that sense. But so far, nobody actually created an account. So, there's something you learn. I mean, we've only spent around $70, somewhere around that, or $95. But so far, actually, nobody's actually creating an account coming from Pinterest. So that's an interesting insight I have on a daily basis. I can kind of see that here, any accounts created from Pinterest. So this is fully set up. I think that's interesting. So I'm working on PostHog to kind of track what's going on, who's doing what, basically. You can kind of see that, people can create an account. I will see when the photos score fast, when the styles are confirmed, when the painting actually starts. So I have all these events firing whenever, people are checking out or doing some critical stuff in that sense. So this tracking is fully set up. So quite simple. We're just getting started on the Pinterest account and we're checking if, people are actually creating an account, testing it out. And interestingly, we already have some people actually testing it out. And the interesting part about what you can do with Runflow is that you're going to be able to see what the input is and also match that with the output. And you're going to be able to say, well, this is what the output was of it and what is actually went wrong. So now I can basically start optimizing my prompts, and it's also what suggests like this is the suggested prompt that I should actually run again in order to say, hey, this is actually going to improve the quality of the output in that sense. So now that people are starting to create accounts, I can actually start optimizing my prompts in order to make portraits better. So that's the interesting thing that I'm now doing, creating this little loop of, hey, people are creating accounts, they're generating, and now I can see what the suggested next action is in that sense. So wanted to give you a little update on how we're marketing Maison Zola. Still the early days. We haven't actually sold anything yet, so that's the interesting part. But, you got to start somewhere. So that's the honest review on what is happening in Maison Zola. I see you later.